little over a year after Stellar Blade was released on PlayStation, it came to PC. Now, still a decent amount of time had passed. It's not like everybody was still talking about Stellar Blade from over a year ago, but it was very successful on PlayStation. And then it became mega successful upon its Steam launch. In fact, it was the biggest PlayStation to Steam launch that we've ever seen, crushing records in insane fashion for a single-player game. Stellar Blade crushes PlayStation PC record with 183,000 concurrents, and it would go up a little bit after that, reach nearly 200,000 at one point in time. And in fact, after just 3 days on Steam, it sold 1 million copies. Not players, not people played this game. No, sold. Copies sold. A lot more than some of the major big-time releases we had in the past year for some big franchises. But just like we saw a year ago, there were still some games journalists that had a problem with Stellar Blade. And why did they have a problem with it? Because it's a conventionally attractive woman. And some people liked that. And some people talked about that. And the ridiculous thing that you see when you're talking about this is the just pure hypocrisy we've seen from a lot of these people in games journalism. They're 100% okay with sexual acts in video games. They're 100% okay with revealing things. They're 100% okay with discussing the sexuality of this character or thinking that that character's hot and being attracted to this character, or not even when they're people, sometimes when they're inanimate objects. They're fine with that. They obsess over that shit. They're happy about it. But when it comes to heterosexual men, or even some women that can just admire the beauty of somebody else, they have a major problem with it. And we saw it over and over again. Gooner Game of the Year Stellar Blades mods are 41% smut, ensuring gamers will never see the light of heaven. And over the past 2 weeks or so, we have seen a flurry of stories that are just like this, and a flurry of reviews for Stellar Blade from the media, from the Access game journalists, that spend a lot of time talking about the way the person's clothed. Not so much about the gameplay. A lot of their criticism stems from the idea that you're playing as a sexy character, which 100% pulled a lot of people into this. However, it's not something that, of course, people want their characters to be attractive. 100% they do. But they're not going to continue playing the game. They're not going to buy the game again. They're not going to play it over and over again just because a character's hot. We got porn for that, okay? If that's all you want to see. But no, it's successful, and they can't stand it for some reason. So they spend a lot of time on their fairly low Stellar Blade score of 68 out of 100. While just a few weeks ago, talked about a game like this, Date Everything. Date Everything turns everyday household objects into gorgeous love interests, and now I can't look at my refrigerator the same way. Talking about a game where every inanimate object, from your bed to your window to your toaster oven to your refrigerator to your air conditioning unit to everything, is a potential romantic interest for you. You have no problem with games like this, right? These are the same types of people that praised and hailed Dragon Age the Veilguard for exploring this non-binary Tosh thing and all your different characters that you can have sex with and all the possibilities for characters that you can fuck. Whereas there's not even sex scenes in Stellar Blade. It's just an attractive woman. Like, these are the same people who were obsessing over having sex with a bear in Baldur's Gate 3 and praised the idea that you could have sex with a bear in Baldur's Gate 3. These are the same types of people that are criticizing Stellar Blade for being a gooner game, right? There's no question that when you have an attractive female character and you're marketing mostly to heterosexual men, that having an attractive female character is definitely going to help. It's going to draw eyes. It's going to draw attention. Now, they're not going to stay there and continue playing that game and then buy it on PC a year after it already came out if that's your only selling point. You have to have something else, from your combat to your story elements to the gameplay. You have to have something else, obviously. But the past week and a half has shown us, just like we saw a year ago when Stellar Blade came out, that they're just complete hypocrites. They're fine with a bunch of like true degeneracy in games. They're fine with romantic hookups. They're fine with sexual sequences in games. They're fine with all of this stuff. But when it comes to heterosexual people talking about attractive women and saying, wow, this character is really hot. Wow, look at her tits. Wow, look at her ass jiggle. They have a massive fucking problem with it. And it's been very embarrassing as Stellar Blade continues to perform very, very well, gets great reviews from actual gamers, and was a huge success not only on PlayStation, but now on PC. Much more than you can say for some of these other big launches that we've had in the past year.